So in the last lesson, what we completed was returning a value from our notify factory function, which is a new instance of this notification. Now, even if permission is granted or if permission is denied, we get a notification object back. Now, this is absolutely fine. However, one thing that I like to do is actually check whether this is a truthy or a falsy value, so then I can go and safely bind some events to it or do anything I like and perform any actions that we might want to make for the end user. Now, instead of just logging our notification, we're going to look at the notification object on its own. So there's two ways that we can use this. We can use this directly using the static properties. So if we save this out, this is then going to give us the static properties of the notification, which is just a function. But this function has a .permission property. And you can see that we have this granted. If we were to then go and block the access, we can then hit refresh, and we then see this denied. So this notification permission allows us to now safety check when we want to do something with a notification, such as bind an event to it. So instead of just logging out the value of this permission, what we're going to do is inside of our notify factory is we're going to say if notification.permission equals granted. Now, the reason that we're going to use granted is because we only want to show a notification, of course, if the user has in fact granted the permission. However, we don't want to just return it if they've handled the default use case, which is not actually selecting anything, or if they've denied it. So if they have done any of those, we're just simply going to return null, which means that when we log this out in our line number 24, you can see we have null. So that's going to now allow us to say if notification, perform an action such as bind an event or do anything that we like. And I think this is perhaps a better pattern to use, so it's not going to lead to any errors further down the line if we're expecting the notification constructor to be available. We could, of course, return false or anything you like, but if we were to then say if notification, this is then not going to do anything. So we can say notifications are active. Save this out and you can see that we have nothing in the console because the permission was denied. If we then go back and ask for the particular notifications, we can then enable them for the website. Permission was granted, which is our switch case above. And then because our notifications are enabled, one, we get the notification, but also we then see the notifications are indeed active. So that's just a quick video on this .permissions property. This is a static property that just simply changes under the hood whether the user has indeed granted the permissions. And obviously we can check this before we then go and create a notification, which I think makes sense, or we can return null, do some safety checking, which we're now going to add some event listeners in the next video and learn a little bit more about how to focus a particular window when a pop-up arrives, when a notification comes through, and also learn how to close the notification. So that's it for this lesson. Let's dive into the next one.